pleasant good day to everyone. Today, we will be continuing looking at the book, The Great Controversy by Ellen G. White. It would be remiss of me not to start at the introduction though, where it would give a premise as to what this book entails. So if you haven't done so already, I'd like to encourage you to grab your physical copy of the book, or you could go online, get a copy, and peruse with us as we look at the first page of chapter 1, the destruction of Jerusalem, and also two paragraphs of the introduction that will give us and highlight what this book is about. Let's begin. Reading from page 13, the introduction. In the great conflict, Satan will employ the same policy, manifest the same spirit, and work for the same end as in preceding ages. That which has been will be, except that the coming struggle will be marked with a terrible intensity, such as the world has never witnessed. Satan's deception will be more subtle, his assaults more determined. If it were possible, he would lead astray the elect. Mark 13:22. And reading the last paragraph of the introduction, to unfold the scenes of the great controversy between truth and error, to reveal the wiles of Satan and the means by which he may successfully be resisted, to present a satisfactory solution of the great problem of evil, shedding such a light upon the original and final disposition of sin as to make fully manifest the justice and benevolence of God in all his dealings with his creatures, and to show the holy, unchanging nature of his law is the object of this book. That through its influence, souls may be delivered from the darkness, from the power of darkness, and become partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. To the praise of him who loved us and gave himself for us is the earnest prayer of the writer. And this preface was written by the writer herself. Although she wrote many books, this book, The Great Controversy, the devil hates the most. And he fought her in terms of causing her a lot of trouble in the production of this book. So this book is truly something that should be read and understood by all. We will now go into chapter 1, the destruction of Jerusalem. The destruction of Jerusalem. If thou hast known, even at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the day shall come that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. Luke 19:42 to 44. Here we see a statement by Jesus, and as we go on, we will see where he was. So let's continue. From the crest of Olivet, that's where he was, Jesus looked upon Jerusalem. Fair and peaceful was the scene spread before him. It was the scene of the Passover. And from all lands, the children of Jacob had gathered there to celebrate the great national festival. In the midst of the gardens and vineyards and green slopes studded with pilgrim tents, rose the terraced hills, the stately palaces and massive bulwarks of Israel's capital. The daughter of Zion seemed in her pride to say, I sit a queen and shall see no sorrow. As lovely then, and deeming herself as secure in heaven's favor, as when, ages before, the royal minstrel sang, beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, the city of the great King. Psalms 48:2. Here we see the psalmist David giving us a description of Jesus being at Jerusalem, calling it Mount Zion. The scenes were beautiful, sloped, green, luscious, wonderful, as all children of Jacob gathered for the Passover, for that was the season. But where was Jesus' thoughts? We will soon see. In full view were the magnificent building of the temple. The ray of the setting sun lighted up the snowy whiteness of its marble walls and gleamed from golden gates and tower and pinnacle. The perfection of beauty. So this is how beautiful that temple looked from Mount Olivet as the sun cascaded on it, gold shimmering, the whiteness being in full purity. It was a sight to behold. It stood the pride of the Jewish nation. What child of Israel could gaze upon the scene without a thrill of joy and admiration? But far other thoughts occupied the mind of Jesus. When he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it. Luke 19:41. Amidst the universal rejoicing of the triumphant entry, while palm branches waved, while glad hosannas awoke the echoes of the hills, and thousands of voices declared him King, the world's Redeemer was overwhelmed with a sudden and mysterious sorrow. So this was on Sunday, where palm branches were waving and the children and people were shouting, Hosanna to the Son of David, Hosanna in the highest. Praises were going up. But Jesus' thoughts was somewhere else. He beheld the city when he came near, and he wept. He, the Son of God, the promised one of Israel, whose power had conquered death and called its captives from the grave, was in tears, not of ordinary grief, but of intense, reprehensible agony. His tears were not for himself, though he well knew whither his feet were tending. Before him lay Gethsemane, the scenes of the approaching agony. The sheep gate was in sight, through which, for centuries the victims for sacrifice had been led, which was to open for him when he should be brought as a lamb before the slaughter. Isaiah 53:7. Before this was predicted of him, he would be like a lamb brought before the slaughter. And he saw it. It was less than 4 to even 5 days before this was to be fulfilled. But his thoughts was not of himself. His thoughts was not on what he was about to go through at Gethsemane, at the sheep gate, at Calvary. His thoughts was on the seat, and he wept. Not far distant was Calvary, the place of crucifixion. Upon the path which Christ was soon to tread must fall the horror of great darkness, as he should make his soul an offering for sin. Yet it was not the contemplation of these scenes that cast the shadow upon him in this hour of gladness. No foreboding of his own superhuman anguish clouded that unselfish spirit. He wept for the doomed thousands of Jerusalem because of the blindness and impenitence of those whom he came to bless and save. Here ends our reading for today, where we have looked at the introduction of the great controversy that highlights what this book is all about, as well as chapter 1, page 1, ending where we ended off, where Jesus, he wept, understanding where he was to go. His thoughts was not on himself, but was on a people who had rejected him. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we will continue to read yet another page of this wonderful book. Until then, may God bless you.